So why did the chicken cross the road? Well, it's because his March Madness brackets fell apart during the first round.
Welcome to the What Up Doc University podcast, your number one resource for total body wellness. Here's your host, Dr. Mike.
Yo ho 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 ho, how are you guys doing this week? It's March Madness, and I hope you guys who are following along with March Madness, your brackets are doing way better than mine's. I know a lot of my friends who are keeping track, their brackets fell apart the first round. Yeah, some very close games, some games that went the way that I know I didn't want it to go. Anyhow, I love this time of the year, March Madness. I love this time when spring is about, and today's the spring equinox. So I just wanted to see how everybody's doing this week. Everybody should have a great week, I suppose. You guys listen to the podcast that we released on Wednesday with Hal Elrod on the Miracle Morning. Wasn't that such a great episode? I mean, Hal just gave so much pertinent information that can help your overall day, but more so your health, guys. Because if you look at the Miracle Morning and what it can do for your overall health, it's phenomenal. Because this is one of those health hacks that a lot of people aren't doing. What they're doing is not that, and they're getting the wrong type of results. So you guys want different types of results? Change what you're doing. That's what I got to say. All right, the first article we got in review today is entitled, "The FDA says genetically engineered apples and potatoes are safe." Now, whenever I see an article that says FDA, I always, my blank detector starts going off, because the FDA is pretty much, in my opinion, a joke. And the only reason why I say that is a lot of people look, well, let me step back. A lot of people look towards the FDA as the be all and end all approval of safetiness. And I'm here to tell you guys that it's not. And the only reason why I say that is I look at their track record. There have been so many drugs that the FDA has approved saying that it's clinically safe, been proven clinically safe, only to turn around and then say after thousands and thousands of people start getting adverse reactions, then they turn around and say, you know what, maybe we were wrong. And that's not the kind of, you can't take that. That's not the kind of approach you want from a safety regulatory agency. So when I saw this article, it says FDA says genetically engineered apples and potatoes are safe, I began to shake my head. First of all, we're looking at genetically engineered foods. And secondly, why is the FDA going out there and saying it's safe, and why are people believing that? Well, because people are led to believe that whatever the FDA says is the truth. Now, there's a lot of truth to the statement, though. They're saying that when they looked at it, they studied these apples and potatoes, and they found that they're generally relatively safe. And basically what that means is that when you eat it, you don't die instantaneously. They're not doing any types of long-term studies or what types of effects it has on changing your body's biochemistry. None of that stuff. So they don't really report that because they don't know. Now, if you look at it from a standpoint of straight science, biochemistry, if you start giving your body fake stuff, it's going to produce fake results. Plain and simple. So when the FDA says it's generally relatively safe, right? When they say that, they're kind of right, meaning that when you eat it, you're not going to die, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you in the long term. The next article is entitled, Should Alternative Remedies Carry a Health Warning? And the article goes on to state that there are these people who they approach their medical doctors or their other healthcare practitioners and say, well, I'm taking this natural remedy and it doesn't matter how much I take because it's safe, it's natural, it won't do me any harm. And you couldn't be further from the truth. I think it was Hippocrates that said, I don't know if it's Hippocrates or not, but there's an old saying that says everything is a poison. It's just dependent upon the dose. So if you guys know who said that, message me and let me know who said that. I didn't look it up yet. But yeah, everything is dependent upon the dose. I mean, there are people that have died from overdosing on water. People have died from overdosing on air. So just because you're taking something that is natural doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe and you can just consume as much as you want. There are limits. Fortunately, some of these natural remedies have a higher limit, but doesn't necessarily mean that by taking more of something that it's going to do you more good. So just because you guys are taking a natural herb or a supplement, be careful. Okay, be careful. Don't overdo it. If you've been told to take 4 tablets of something by a healthcare practitioner, try to stick to that. Don't go above and beyond. It says, well, my doc told me take 4. I'm going to go take 8 because I want the results twice as fast. So remember, just because it's natural doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't come with side effects. Here's a cool article that I found and something that I talk about every day in my practice. It's called the 5 Tips to Banish Stress. We all experience stress. If you live in California like I do, you drive on the freeways, you're stressed out. You live in the United States, you're stressed out. You live on Earth, you're stressed out. You can't escape it. And it's affecting our bodies every single day. So here are the 5 tips to banishing stress that they state here. Okay, number 1, breathe, stop, and shake. So when you're experiencing stress, slow down, take some slow, deep breaths, stop what you're doing, and then shake it out. Not the Taylor Swift kind of shake it out. Well, maybe you could do that, but just get up and move around. Actually, maybe you should do the Taylor Swift shake it out. So, Taylor Swift, here's a shout out to you. Putting you on my follow-up Friday. We're going to do this Taylor Swift shake it out to relieve stress. Because you got to get moving. You got to get those endorphins releasing to combat those stress hormones. Number 2, get curious. Didn't they say curiosity killed the cat? What does he mean by getting curious? Well, here's what happens when you get all stressed out is the part of your brain that controls logic and decision making, which is called your prefrontal cortex, basically shuts down. And you can't make rational decisions and you can't think clearly when you're stressed out because that part of the brain does not work anymore. So here's how you get that part of your brain to work again, is you get creative. So you start doing things like art or something that you have to engage in curiosity. Learn something new, maybe play a new musical instrument. What that does is that starts activating the prefrontal cortex. And when you start activating your prefrontal cortex, your stress levels and that stress response starts to decrease. Number 3, hug it out. Right? Just like in Tommy Boy. Brothers, gotta hug. Right? You gotta hug. And the thing about hugging is it releases a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is that feel-good hormone. Right? Every time you get a hug, it just feels good. Both tactily and internally on a biochemical level. Your body just releases those anti-stress hormones, calms everything down, and you know that you are in a safe place. That's basically what these hormones are allowing your body to do. It's helping you to feel safe. So hug it out. Number 4, get into your body. Basically, this means get to know your body, get to sense how it's reacting to stress. Get to know what things in your body means. What are some of the symptoms that you're experiencing? What is it trying to tell you? Get to know your body. And that's the whole reason why we're doing this podcast, is helping you to discover what your body's trying to tell you and also what to do about it. Because the more you know about your body, the more you can control it, the more you are in charge, and you won't have to suffer from chronic health diseases. A good way to do this is through meditation. Meditation is a great way to get into your body. Take some silence every single morning, right? Like you heard on the past episode with Hal Elrod. Take that time every morning for silence and meditation. Sit back and just let yourself be in your body. So do that every single day. And number 5, feel the love. You got to feel the emotions of love. Okay, so figure out a way to do that. Whether it's, watching videos of cute puppies, or hugging your loved one, or talking to your loved one and expressing your love and all that kind of stuff. Just do something to feel the love. Watch The Lion King and sing along with Elton John. Can you feel the love tonight? Wanted to send this week's shout out to Hal Elrod. Pick up his book, The Miracle Morning. I had it in the show notes of his episode. I'm also going to have it on the show notes for this episode because I think it's a very important book for everybody to read and apply to their daily basis. I mean, it's not a long book, guys. It's a very easy read. It's very easy to implement. Okay. So pick it up, read it, and apply it. Yeah, we had a great week, and I hope you had a great week. I hope you liked some of the articles we talked about today. You gotta hug it out. You gotta get some love. Hug somebody, man. Decrease that stress. And the only reason why I say that is because I know a lot of people are gonna stress out over the next week or so with March Madness, because your brackets are gonna fall apart even more. So you got to find some way to decrease that stress, because I know a lot of people that actually bet a lot of money on this. So as your brackets fall apart, just remember, it could be worse. Anyhow, this is our follow-up Friday for this week. Next week, guys, I'm going to have one of my mentors on the show, Dr. Jeff Spencer, and he's going to talk to you about the champion's blueprint, what it takes to become a champion and how to stay there. I mean, this guy's been around some of the elite people in the world. So he's going to show you what he's discovered, not only for himself, because he's an Olympic athlete. He's one of the top chiropractors in the world. Okay. He's going to show you guys what he's developed and what he's observed, some of the commonalities of being a champion, and more so, this is the most important part, is how to stay there and not get knocked off that pedestal. So stay tuned. Subscribe, rate, review us. Peace, love, unity, be well, and aloha.